there? Who's ready for the word today? Do I have an amen out there? Open up your Bibles to James 3, verse 2 through 12. We're going to do a little passage today. We're in the middle of our series called No Problem, Man. From the Jamaicans who, no matter what happens and what storms in life come about when you're around them, they're always like, no problem, man, no problem, man. And that's who we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be a group of people that no matter what's going on in life, we're able, as Paul said, to rejoice in the Lord always. And it's funny that when I don't have worries and stress and anxiety hold me back, it allows me to think more clearly, allows me to get through the same problem a whole lot quicker, helps me to be happy and full of joy. And you're like, well, you don't know what problems I have, Pastor. Well, I'm like, but Paul was writing this from prison. And this is not a Sheriff Joe, right, pink underwear type prison. This is like a prison you wouldn't even be able to comprehend. They had no standards back then, nobody overwatching. And so the prison he was in was probably worse than any of parts of our life and our storms we're going through now, but yet he came up in Philippians, he said, rejoice in the Lord always. He said to us, meditate on the good things, the pure things, the holy things. Think only on these things. He said to us, he said, stress about nothing. Worry about nothing in your life. He said, but come to God with thanksgiving in your heart, and his peace will guard your heart. In order for me to get the peace guarding my heart, I have to do the first part, which is don't be stressed about whatever's going on in my life. Cast my cares and worries onto God in life and allow him to give me that peace that surpasses my understanding. Last week we were talking about our approach to life. Your approach, because he says, approach God with thanksgiving. Your approach is more important than the event. Your approach dictates how much of a stressful moment, I say stressful moment, it is when you arrive to the event. And so many of us, we just get into that event after event after event throughout the day, and we wonder why we go through stressful moment to stressful moment to stressful moment. And we're like, okay, I'm battling. Okay, Scott said not to be stressed, and so we're working hard not to be stressed, but it gets tough. You know what's better than being able to cast off the stress in the middle of a storm of life? Is not having a storm. Can I get an amen out there, anywhere out there? Come on, somebody out there. Right? It's better not to even have a storm. What if you just went from moment to moment to moment, and every moment wasn't a stressful moment, but it was an easier moment, and we found out that if we'll look at the storms of life and the annoying things of our life, we should be able to, most of the time, go back to the approach, and if I change the approach, then I change how I arrive in the moment. You use the example of the boat. When I tried to get that boat in there on that trailer right away, man, it was stress, and I had to keep backing up and going up, and everything was there, right? But then when I listened to the old guy, and I backed the boat way up, and I took my time with the approach, it allowed me to strategize, allowed me to tweak it here and there, and I got it right in there. Same thing for life. Whatever is stressing you out, start to look at your approach. I had examples last week, but I thought of another example. As a young adult, half the time, and I'll bet you a bunch of you in here deal with this too, when I was going to go somewhere, I could not find my keys or I could not find my wallet, right? I know it's nobody in this room, but you know people like that. And it was like, right? And so you're just trying to go somewhere. Yet now before I get to leave, I have to have all of this stress and anxiety and tearing up the house and where in the heck, and have you seen my keys, and have you seen my wallet, have you seen this? Right, and by the time you finally find it, like I get some, and I throw it down on the ground again, and I pick it up, I get mad, I get in the car, and I'm also worked up. But I came up with the Scotty principle. I don't know if I invented it, but in my mind, I invented it. And if you ask my kids, I didn't do it on video, I wanted to do this. If you ask my kids, where do your keys go? My kids, anyone that's driving will say, oh my gosh, in two places. That's what it is. It's a two-place rule. My keys are either in my pocket or they're on my desk. That is the only two places that my keys or my wallet will ever be. There are times I want to, and I'm like, oh, I need to set my keys down, but you're not allowed to go anywhere but in my pocket or on my desk. So if I want to put you down, I will always walk to my desk and put them down, or I will put them in. If I don't have a pocket, then they go into my short. They're going to go something. They will not leave my body. And do you know, since I was about 23 years old, I don't lose my keys. I don't lose my wallet. I totally eliminated that stress in my life, and all I had to do is go to the origin and change my approach. Same thing for you. How many stressful moments do we create in our day and our week? And here's what happens. You get in the midst of that little storm, and it's so hard to think clearly. It's so hard to strategize. So hard. You get into the office, and all this thing is on you, and you're like, and if you were to step back and look at it later with a little bit of sense, you would go, oh my God, this is all. Have you ever done that? You got out of a storm, you went, oh my God, that's all I had to do? I don't know why I didn't see that. You didn't see it because you weren't designed to have the stress and all that. We had gone to Cancun for our anniversary back in March. And when we arrived in Cancun, we got there that night, and I noticed that they have a breakfast buffet. Ooh, and if you guys have been listening to me for any period of time, you know I love buffets with every part of my heart. Heaven, I know, is one giant buffet. I am so excited about heaven. It's a buffet. And it becomes, you know, what's funny is things that happen to you as kids can stick with you as adults. Because as a kid, growing up, we didn't have what many kids had, like food in the house. We didn't have food in the house much. Me and Jason had to invent things to eat based on what we found. We played Survivor. You ever watch Survivor? That was life. And so we lived Survivor. And so we would have, Jason's like, what do we got? I'm like, we got half of an old tortilla. He's like, all right, I got some hard brown sugar. And we're like, all right, I think we can make a candy out of this. And so we would make, right? And we were able, but then once in a while, things were going so well, Dad would take us after church to Fiesta Mall, and we would go to the Royal Fork. Oh, Lord, can I get an amen for a minute? Woo, I get excited just talking about it. And you could have all you can eat. That's still, like, my mind couldn't write, yeah, I can eat as much as I want. Dad's like, yes. And I would go like 17 times, like, so amazing. Oh, it was so good. And so I was all fired up. Now, Holly, on the other hand, she hates buffets. And I think she might have liked them before me, but she hates me in a buffet. I think that's really the problem. Because I feel like I'm still starving, so I still grab like 5, 6 plates, and it just embarrasses her. And so, needless to say, she doesn't like the buffet. So it was the next morning, and I got up all excited like a little kid at Christmas, and I gave her a little kiss. I knew she wasn't going to the buffet. And I said, I'm going to the buffet. And she's like, oh, okay. And she says to me, don't get a waffle. Do you remember the waffle fight of 2014? Do you guys remember that? Where I got mad at her, I said, I'm a grown man, I'll have as many waffles, and I had waffles every day for 6 months, and I gained 30 pounds as I taught her a lesson. Do you remember the waffle fight? She said, don't have a waffle, because we noticed that there was waffles on there. And I didn't want to fight. She didn't want to fight. We're on a little trip together, and I just smiled. I said, honey, I haven't had a waffle in a couple of years. I'm just going to have a waffle today. And she says to me, she goes, you don't need a waffle. Now, the way she said need was not like emotional. It was more physical need. And I don't like that. Because, yes, I don't need it physically, but I needed a waffle emotionally is what I needed. And so I smiled back to her, and I said, honey, I don't want to do the waffle fight. I said, I don't want to have another 6 months of waffles. I don't want to do this. I'm going to have a waffle today. That's what I'm going to have. I'm going to give me a waffle. I'm excited about the waffle. I've been thinking about the waffle all night. I'm going to give me a waffle. And she says to me, she goes, well, I'm going to pray you don't get a waffle. Really? That's how we do things? We use faith in God against my waffles, against the principalities of darkness. It's my waffle that we're going to come against today? Fine, I pray you don't ever get to shop again. There's my prayer. We all have prayers today. We both have prayers. I'm like, who does she think she is? Pray I don't get a waffle. I'll get a waffle. I want to get a waffle. God's not going to stop me from getting a waffle. Why would he stop me from getting a waffle? I go down and get in the line. This is still processing me. I'm like, she's praying against my waffle. In the name of Jesus, let me have a waffle. They don't have a waffle maker there. They don't trust you with the waffle making ability. Instead, you have to stand in the line where the guy makes the omelets and the eggs for individual orders. There's one cook, and there's a long line. That's all right. I'm getting a waffle. I will stand in the line to get the waffle. I stand in the line. It's about 20 minutes, and you get all the way up, and I get my omelet, and I get my golden waffle, and I'm like, oh, and I grab the waffle. And then we're in Cancun. I don't want to eat inside. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go outside, and, where you can hear the ocean and stuff. And so I go down. I set my little plate down on the thing. I sit down, get ready for my waffle. I'm like, I need my drink. I need orange juice, and I need some syrup. And so I get up, and I go in. The little sliding glass is open. I get my little drink. I get my stuff, and I come back out. There's no waffle on the plate. There's not a crumb. There's literally no waffle on the plate. And I'm looking around. Where did my waffle go? My waffle's been raptured by God. How did who raptures a waffle? a true story, though. I look around, and there's this little 6-year-old kid with his parents around, and he's looking, and he's like laughing over there at me. And I'm thinking, what is he laughing about? And he's pointing up. Pointing up. Like, this is the creepiest thing in the world. I'm like, God, you saw God's hand come down and take my waffle. My wife's prayers are that strong that God's hand literally came down and snatched my waffle up. And then the waiter comes over, and he's like, sir, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, you got. I said, where's my waffle? He's like, I don't know where your waffle is. I'm like, I had a waffle, it's gone. He's like, I don't know, senor. I'm like, can you get me a waffle, please? He goes, sir, that would be cutting. You need to go stand in the line and go get a waffle. And I'm like, but I had a waffle. He's like, where's your waffle? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't have it. I don't want to wait another 25 in the line. He got longer, so I was mad at that. And so I was like, doggone, I was so annoyed at that. And so I ate my omelet, and I went back there. I'm trying to wrap everything around the waffle, and God took my waffle. And Holly's like, how's your waffle? I'm like, it was delicious. Because I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of knowing that her prayer worked. I was annoyed at the prayer. The next morning, get up. I'm having, and Holly, same thing. You don't need a waffle. You had a waffle yesterday. I'm like, no, I didn't. But I didn't tell her that. I'm like, I'm going to have waffles 2 days in a row. I'm going to have another waffle today. So I go to get the waffle. I get the waffle again, right? And I get the stuff, and I sit down. And I'm like, oh, my God, I forgot my drink and my it's hard to carry all that anyway. And so I'm like, and I'm looking, watch my little waffle. And I go in the little doors, and I turn around. I get my little drink, and just then, all of a sudden, it looked like an eagle trying to grab a fish out of the lake. It went boom, and a big old black seagull-looking bird, but it was a black bird, went boom and landed on my waffle. I'm all, no! And I ran, right? And the seagull, and he said, and I get out the door, and he's like, and he's trying to get he's trying to get that waffle off, and as he has to leave, because I almost got him, and the waffle goes on the ground, and I'm like this, and the little kid's like, and he's there again. Okay, so we know it's a bird, not God, to grab the waffle, right? I have 5 kids. I'll eat anything off the ground. I'm not ashamed of it. I will definitely eat a waffle off the ground, even a waffle that has been attacked by a bird. I'm all good. It don't bother me none at all. And so I go like this, but the busboy had snatched the waffle. He's like, sir, I will throw this away. And I'm like, no. And he crumpled it all up, and it was just a mess of a waffle. And I'm like, no, I'll still eat it. He's like, no, you do not want to eat off the ground. I'm like, I do. I want to eat the waffle off the ground. He's like, sir, not in Mexico, maybe America. I'm like, no, I don't care where. He threw the waffle away. Another day, I get no waffle. Third day, I was prepared for my waffle this day. I was getting a waffle, or I was going to get a bird. Those were the only 2 options. Got my waffle, got my eggs, I grabbed my juice, I got my syrup, and it's very hard. I carried it all. It was very difficult to get there. I was carrying all this outside, got it all set up, got the silverware, I sat down, and now I'm going to enjoy my waffle. I worked hard 3 days to get the waffle. And then I had no butter. How do you, and I can't, and I'm the guy, I can't ask my wife, I cannot eat a waffle without butter. So I'm like, and I'm looking around, I'm like, I got no butter, and I'm looking, you stupid bird, where is it? I'm trying to find a bird, and I'm like, the kid, he's like, and I'm like, all right, and so I watch, and I'm looking for the bird, I get to the door, I'm looking for the bird, and then I hustle, and I grab as soon as I got my hand on the butter, here goes the bird, boom, he's on the waffle, I'm running back, I'm going to get me a bird, I'm going to get something, right, and off he goes, and I get out there, and we fight, and he's flying away, and the waffle was little bitty crumbs all over the place, and it was all torn to little bit of pieces, and we had another day of no waffle. So as we were getting on the airplane the next day, I finally fessed up. I told my wife, I said, I get no waffle. I told her the whole story about everything. And she's like, well, my prayers. I'm like, no. And she goes, but you know that there was like 1,000 different solutions to your problem. I said, no, stop it. What do you mean the solution? She said, well, number 1, you could have eaten your waffle inside. Right? I'm like, well, yeah. I guess that would have been a good solution. Number 2, when you went to get your butter, you could have simply grabbed a plate of waffle and kept it with you. Yeah. Number 3, you could have asked me not to pray. Those are the 3 things that I could have done. Isn't it weird when you get in the midst of your storm? The simple solutions when you're stressed out, you can't see them. It's so easy to look out from the outside in, but how many times do we get ourselves in circumstances where maybe a problem in our marriage is so simple, a problem in our finances is so simple, but we allow the stress and the worry and the birds of life, come on somebody out there, to hold us from being able to see the simple solutions in life. Stupid bird. Stupid bird. All right, go with me. Come on. There it is right there. James 3:12. I'm going to give you the key today to the approach of life. This is the key to approach. All approaches comes from this right here. I think this will change so many of your problems in life if you'll grab a hold of this approach. How you approach your day, how you approach your moments, how you approach your life starts, finishes with this right here. 2-12 says this, for we all stumble in many things. Come on, somebody say many things. I do. I mess up a whole lot of stuff. If anyone does not stumble in what? Words. If no one stumbles in what they say, he is a perfect person. So if I want to be a perfect person, then I have to be careful of what I say. What I say dictates the amount of perfection that I have in my life. If this is not perfect enough, then I need to make what I say more perfect. The closer that my word becomes perfect, the closer that my life becomes perfect. Come on, somebody out there. You want to clap? Clap. I don't know. He is a perfect man, able also to bridle the whole body. Indeed, we put bits in horses' mouth that they may obey us. You take a big old horse and a little thing in the mouth and a little boop, boop, and you can turn the whole body of a horse by just turning the mouth. Look also at the ships. Although they are so large and are driven by fierce winds, they are turned by a very small rudder. What you say, how you approach your life, what you say out of here, is going to dictate what you experience most of the time when you get to this place right here. What comes out of your mouth? What comes out of your mouth when you get up in the morning about your day? What comes out of your mouth about your marriage at the office? What comes out of your mouth about your kids? Oh, they're just a bunch of brats. They just run around. I can't get them to listen. I can't get them to do anything. And I'm talking about your husband. I can't. And you say these things and they come out of your mouth and it's so far from perfect, and then you wonder why your world is so far from perfect. I was originally going to talk about, and I've heard this talk before, about your words frame your world. And I agree, they do. It's like you take a picture that's not that pretty and you frame it up nice and it looks great. But I'm like, let's take it a step deeper, because I believe that your words are more of the picture. They sketch out the picture. Now, when I was doing my backyard, before it was finished, it was all just dirt back there, I sketched out what I wanted. And I drew, okay, here's where the bushes, and here's where we're going to have grass, and here's where the pavers are going to go, and here's the patio, and here, right, and you put out here's the barbecue, you got everything all laid. I sketched it all out, and once it's sketched, nothing had changed yet, has it? It's still the same. It still looked exactly the same. Yet I had sketched out what I wanted. And now we can begin to put in what I want that goes along with the sketch that I put. When I begin to speak things into my life, yeah, it may still look like dirt, but I am putting things that are going to happen into my day, into my world. Today is a blessed day. I'll put that on my sketch. Hey, I'm going to have a great time at my office. My boss, who used to be a jerk in my mouth, now he's an amazing boss, that I love my boss, and I'm able to honor my boss. And my wife, I love her. She's so smart and amazing. My husband, man, he used to be lazy, but now he's not lazy. He's a great, and I begin to sketch out everything that is going on my piece of paper and in my world. Whatever you put out there is your sketch. You're saying it. You're putting it on the page. See, your life is a drawing. Your day is a drawing. This week is a drawing. What are you going to draw this week? Is it going to be God's outline, or is it going to be the world's outline? Is it what God says you can have, or what the world says you can have? My 8th grade soccer coach, Mr. Morales, one of the top 10 influential people in my life, soccer coach, amazing what you could do. And he would always say, whenever you said something negative, and he didn't speak good English though, he'd always go, is that what you want? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I suck at this. And he's like, is that what you want? And you go, well, no, that's not what I want. He's like, then don't say it. I can't pass with my left foot. He goes, is that what you want? I go, no, I want to pass with my left foot, but I can't. He's like, do you not want to? I said, I do want to. He says, then say what you want. Okay, I can pass with my left foot. He goes, good. Then pass with your left foot. Man, we can't beat this team. He's like, okay, guys, is that what you want? Well, no, we want to beat them. Then say what you want. And under the doctrine, the Mr. Morales principle, don't say what you got, but say what you want in your day. Every time you say something, ask yourself, do I want this on my picture? When I was drawing out my backyard, I didn't draw a piece of garbage and just put it there, and a big old weed. And Holly like, is that what you want? Well, no, that's not what I want, but that's what I got. She's like, well, don't put what you got in there. Put what you want. Oh, okay, I want grass there, and I want a beautiful outline. See, in my picture of life, I don't draw what I got. I always draw what I want in my day. And so when you're talking to yourself, I want you to do the Mr. Morales thing. Oh, my God, my thighs are so huge. Is that what you want? Well, no, I don't want that. Then don't say that. Right? Oh, I do the dumbest things. Is that what you want? Well, of course I don't want to do dumb things. Then don't say it. Say what you want, not what you got. My husband is such a bum. Is that what you want? No, of course I don't want that. I want a hot, sexy husband. Then say that. Can I get an amen out there from the ladies anywhere? Say what you want. Isn't that what God says? God says he spoke those things that were not as though they are. That's out of Romans there. He spoke what was not. What if you went through your day and, you were drawing on your picture everything that maybe it wasn't there, but it was what I want. I want the grass. I want the barbecue. I want the pool. You begin to draw out everything that you want in life, and now that canvas begins to become your reality in life. And I want you to know this. I was drawing, we're at Mi Amigos, and I'm drawing some stuff, and I'm really focusing. You ever do that? I don't know why. I'm 47. I'm trying to color the best picture ever. I'm outlining, I'm doing all the things. And I was a little sad. She must have been 4 years old. She leans over and she goes, and she goes, and I'm like, what are you doing? Oh my God. She goes, I made it better. No, you didn't. You made it look like garbage is what you did. But I didn't tell a 4-year-old that. I'm like, thank you, sweetie. This is so nice. What I want you to see this is we're all savvies, meaning that we all color on other people's paper. See, your words are coloring on your coworker's paper. What you say is you're putting something on their drawing. You're sketching something on this part. On your wife, what are you sketching on your wife? What are you sketching on your kid's piece of paper? What are you putting on there? Because I want to be the person that goes, when I'm done, I'm like, it made it better. I want to be the person that built you up. I want to be the one that encouraged you. I'm the one that brightened your day. I'm the one that I want to put a nice, beautiful sunset on there. I want to do, everyone I come in contact with, my goal is that when I leave, your sketch is a little bit better because I was around. What if we were that church? What if this thousands of people went forth into Mesa, into Arizona, and we continued to make everybody else's picture a little bit brighter, made it a little bit better? Can I get an amen out there? Your kids went to school, and man, you smacked right down on there just a beautiful little big piece of artwork for them to go their day. Your husband went to work, and man, you put on just a beautiful little thing right on his picture. And we were people that encouraged. I found this amazing scripture. Holly, I thought you were going to go to it. You said Isaiah 41, and Betsy thought the same thing. We're like, oh my gosh, we're on the same page. Isaiah 41:6. I found this treasure this week. They helped each other and say to their companions, be strong. The metal worker encourages the goldsmith, and the one who smooths with the hammer, he encourages and spurs on the one who strikes the anvil. And the one with the anvil says to the welding, it is good. And the one that nails it down the idol so that it will not topple. I like the end part of that where it says will not topple. I don't want people that God has put into my world to topple. I don't want them to fall over. And you notice how it started. The one said to the goldsmith, man, it's great. And the goldsmith went to the one with the hammer. He said, man, you're doing great. And the hammer said to the nail, man, you're doing good. And do you see how the picture was transferred by encouragement? And I want us to be the church that turns around to everybody in the world and says, you matter. You matter. Richard Long, you matter, right? Doug, you matter, right? You got Andy over there. Andy, you matter. Everybody, turn to your neighbor and say, you matter. Turn to another neighbor and say, you matter. I want people to know that they matter, that they're important, that they are made in God's image, that they are made to overcome no matter where they're at, that we are the people that don't allow people to topple. It is maybe the lady at the office that you gave her some encouragement. You spent some time at lunch pouring into her and telling her she could do it, and you didn't know that she was thinking about committing suicide, but you were the one that didn't allow her to topple. You were the one, the guy that was going to give it up, and he was going to walk away from his family, but you took a few moments, and you said, you matter, you're important, that you can be a life changer, that God wants to work through you, and you kept another person from toppling. What if everyone that's in our world, we are the Picassos who are painting bright, amazing things onto their day and onto their life? Yeah, it's important on what I say in my picture, but how more important is it that my picture says to other people? Mr. Morales is my 8th grade soccer coach. I had a horrible coach, 7th grade soccer. We were a horrible team. We lost every game and every half and every practice. He told us how bad we were, how horrible we did, how we don't listen, and how come we don't pay attention. Lost every game. Morales in 8th grade took over, basically the same team. We lost our first 5 games. But you know at halftime, what he'd always say? He's like, you guys are doing great. You guys keep working hard. And we're like, man, we can't beat these guys. He's like, is that what you want? No, we don't want that. We want to win. He's like, oh, good. Then let's go out. We're down by 5, coach, though. He's like, well, that's all right. Let's just try and get 1. Can we get 1 goal? Can you guys get 1? And we're like, yeah. He's like, once you get 1, let's try and get another. And at the end, we lost. And then we're like, oh, we lost. He's like, no, we didn't lose. We won, because when you give your best, you always win, guys. We're going to practice harder this week. We're going to get more this week. Come on, guys. We're just going to try practice at home. And when you know, we won our 6th game. And then we won our 7th game. Won our 8th game. Won our 9th game. We won every game all the way out, and we won the city championship. Ended up going to Hawaii. And I'm here to tell you, who are you in people's world? Are you my 7th grade coach, or are you my Mr. Morales? Are you the one that's telling people you can do it, you can have it, you can experience it? Last Sunday, after teaching all of the service, all 3 services. And they say, I'm just telling you, I'm just telling you what they say. You Google it. They say that 1 hour of speaking is equivalent to 8 hours of physical labor. And I've done physical labor, and I've done preaching. I love what I do, but I'm telling you, when you get done doing 3 services, you're wore. I'm tired. And the night before, for whatever reason, once in a while, I just don't go to sleep till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I get up early and I study, and I got about 4 hours of sleep. But I got done. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had a headache coming on. It was a migraine coming, and it was just giving all that I had, and I exerted so much. And I get home, and we needed some stuff from the store, and so I'll go get it. That's fine. I'm tired, but I'll go get it. And so I go down to the Walmart, and I put the smile on, because that's what I preach. I'm annoyed at it, but I still do it. I put the smile on. And I go through everything. I'm greeting everybody. And I get into the line there, and there's a lady up in front of me, and bright, just a really nice cash register young lady says to the lady, she's like, how's your day? With a big old smile. And the lady's like, it's not that good. It's not that good. And we're like, oh, yeah, we're good. And she put the stuff on there. And then I start to put my stuff after she gets her stuff. I was being careful. I want to get too close. And I'm get up on there. And then the young lady turned to me. She goes, so how was your day? And I looked at her with a big smile like I always do. And I said, my day is awesome. How was your day? And she goes, you know, you are the first person in a week to tell me they're having a good day. So the lady in front, this annoyed her for some reason, that I'm having a good day. She didn't like that at all. And she looked and she goes, well, you know, I'm tired. She's like, you know, I didn't get much sleep last night. And I go, well, how much sleep did you get? She goes, I got about 5 hours. I said, well, I got about 3.5. She's like, well, you know, I just got off a long shift at work. I said, me too. I just put in 24 hours. Because I did 3 hours of teaching, right? She's like, well, I don't feel very good. I said, well, I got a migraine headache. But I said, I'm still doing amazing. I'm still doing great, because I always speak what I want. I don't speak what I got. And I thought I'd have like this super cool moment, and she'd cry, and we'd get her saved, right? And instead, she just stared at me with like this, and then finally she goes, and this will stick with me. I'll preach this the rest of my life. She goes, that's easier said than done. And then we looked at each other, and I go, exactly. It is easier said than done. And she's like, you know what I mean, and she stormed off. And I'm here to say, if it is easier said than done, then why don't we say it? It is easier for me in that moment. It's just as easy for me to say I'm doing great than to me to say I'm doing horrible. It's just as easy for me to get up and say, this is the day that the Lord hath made. I will rejoice in it, rather than say it's bad. It's easier to say that I am blessed when I go in and I am blessed when I go out. It's easier for me to say that whatever God has created will overcome. It's easy for me to say that I'll be victorious in Christ Jesus. It is easier. If it's easier, then why don't you say it? Because if I say it, then it becomes easy to do in my life. It's just as easy to say as it is to do. But if I don't say it, I can't do it. Go forth into your week. Remind yourself, It's easier to say that today's a great day. It's easier to smile. It's easier to go. It is. It's easier to smile. It's easier to be a blessing. It's easier to be kind. It's easier to uplift somebody. It's easier to make them feel good about themselves. It's harder to pull them down. It's harder to tear them down. It's harder to tell them how worthless they are or treat them like they're worthless. It's always easier said than done. Bow your heads, close your eyes. If you're here today, you can give the Lord a hand clap. Come on, somebody out there. If you're here today and you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I want to give you that opportunity right now. It's easier said because all you have to do is say a prayer after me and believe it in your heart. I know you're not good enough because I'm not good enough, but God said that nobody gets into heaven because of what they do. Jesus already paid the price for every sin you've done. I know that you got junk in your life. We all have junk. That junk will never keep you out of heaven. Only thing keep you out of heaven is not believing. And so we're going to say a prayer out loud. If you believe it, you have it. Don't let the enemy steal it from you. Everybody say this out loud, please, with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask you right now, forgive me of all of my sins. I ask you to Jesus, come into my life, be my Lord and my Savior. In Jesus' name, amen.